Hotel Girls. Written by Nicole O'Connor. Narrated by Roshina Ratnam. An Audioshelf production. Dedication. Dedicated to my school friends. For you, Nancy. Acknowledgements. Special thanks to my wonderful family for being encouraging and patient. Thank you for putting up with my early morning starts and late nights. Chapter 1. Shocking. One school day in March 1976 rapidly deteriorated into a nightmare that brought about a landmark of change in my life. I have no wish to mention the exact date nor hour, lest it is spoiled for others who would prefer that particular date to maintain its purity. Against my will, that fateful day has remained embedded and branded into a part of my brain that refuses to let go and cannot forget. Years later, as I talk about it, that scalding memory scorches my inner being and stirs tumultuous emotion. I was 16 and a boarder at girls' high school in Salisbury, Rhodesia, more commonly referred to as GHS by us students. The lovely historic building, established in 1898, sported huge archways and red polished concrete floors that had mellowed and exuded a simple kind of nostalgia. Large trees shaded the paved walkway, with mown lawns on either side. Small, narrow flower beds lined it with bright flowers standing tall and straight, not unlike soldiers in fancy dress. As I ambled down the pathway from my hostel towards the main hall, my attention was drawn to a baby bird that must have fallen from its nest. Relief overwhelmed me as I stooped to lift it, for it had come close to being trampled. I cradled it in the palm of my hand. Its wing appeared damaged. Its soft body felt cold, and its tiny beak opened and shut rhythmically as it gasped for survival. I wrapped it in tissue paper and placed it with care into the warmth of my shirt's breast pocket. The first bell tolled, causing me to hurry towards the assembly hall. We always sang the Lord's Prayer, heard a Bible reading, and then listened to the week's projected activities read by Bubbles. She was the headmistress, whom we had nicknamed according to her portly shape. Chattering girls jostled their way into the crowded hall and sat down with crossed legs in straight rows on the wooden floor. Once the assembly got underway, I checked the bird and was saddened to discover that it was dead. The opportunity came during prayers to wipe away my private tears of sorrow. Afterwards, everyone stood in silence and filed out in a single line, in class order, seniors first, followed by juniors. The morning passed in a flurry of maths, English, and then Afrikaans lessons. A second language was compulsory. Students had a choice of 3, Latin, French, or Afrikaans. Personally, I knew nobody who could speak any of them, so I chose Afrikaans because it was reputed to be the easiest. South Africa was closer than France or Italy, so I thought it was a reasonable choice. However, it soon became my weakest subject. The teacher, Mrs. Viljoen, despised me. Whenever I read, she rolled her eyes heavenwards as if beseeching the Lord to save her ears from my ridiculous pronunciation. Her attitude embarrassed and irked me, so I retaliated by cheeking her when I could. My antics amused the class, but they also resulted in her ignoring me. The consequences of this folly affected all hope of future progress with my second language. She considered me a stupid person and delighted in reminding me that it was considered an easy subject by anyone who had more than 2 pips between their ears. According to her, my homework was never done well, and I began failing fast. My frustration morphed into anxiety as I realized that without a second language, I would not be able to obtain a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?